what you want, when you want it, where you want it. This is The Mesh.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Mesh.tv's newest show. We are StreetCircleDrive, the show that all the locals should know about. We've got a bunch of information to share with you and probably some personal opinions thrown in there too. And wanted to introduce the people at the table to you. We've got Mr. McNally over here. Hello.
Hello. How are you doing?
Good. Mr. Moose over this side.
Hello. I have many personal opinions for you.
I'm sure you do. And I'm Mary Margaret, so I've realized we have a bunch of M's sitting around the table, but that's all right.
Original.
That's they'll get used to it. Yes. So again, we are here to talk about the place we love, the place we live, Hickory, North Carolina. If you're listening to this, we hope that you are a local wanting to know more, or possibly somebody wanting to come and join our wonderful city. We have lots of stuff to go over today. We've got some topics from around town. We have some events happening and a little special surprise review at the end. So stick around. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. Again, you are listening to the Mesh.tv, and be sure to check out all the other shows on our network. We've got all kinds of fun stuff out there for you to enjoy. But for now, let's kick it off with our first topic, first episode. What are you going to talk about, Moose?
Well, today we're going to be reviewing the bond referendum, and I'd like to add that the three of us also have something very unique in common, that the three of us lived in Hickory, moved away, and then came back. So we have a very unique point of view for you guys, and we hope that you enjoy this podcast as much as we've preparing for it and all the good stuff. But today we're going to be talking about the bond referendum that was voted and approved on by the citizens of Hickory in the year 2012. Just a short breakdown of the $40 million bond referendum that is going to be pumping all the great things into our city.
Wait, $40 million?
$40 million.
No, I'm sorry.
$40 million. And it's coming out of our pocket. So guess what?
I voted yes.
I voted yes.
I voted yes.
All right.
3-0. That's good enough for me. So the $40 million breakdown is this. There's $25 million that have been allocated for street and sidewalk improvements, otherwise known as streetscapes. And then there's an additional $15 million that's been allocated for economic development costs. In this bond referendum that has been so eloquently planned by our faithful leaders of Hickory, there's four major projects. The first project, and my personal favorite that I'm looking most forward to, is the Riverwalk. The Riverwalk is going to be a boarded walkway that is going to be built adjacent to Lake Hickory that will utilize the Geithner Park area, connecting Geithner Park area all the way to Viewmont, connecting the Crawdad Stadium, along with an amphitheater that has been designed, that is going to be a great asset for our community. The boardwalk is it's public and privately funded, partially by the bond, and then partially by the Lackey family, who has so graciously donated bukus of money for the Deidre Lackey amphitheater center that I'm not arrogantly talking about.
Thank you, Lackeys.
Yes, thank you, the Lackeys. The final contract, design contract, was approved in February of this year with Design Workshop Incorporated. They're an Asheville firm. And that design phase is slated to be completed in the spring of 2018. So let's talk about it. How excited are we to have this Riverwalk come into our community? Mr. McNally, what do you think about it?
I think this is one of those things that it will take a while to really see the full impact of what this Riverwalk will do for the community. But I know that one of the things that's always been talked about is, we have this wonderful asset here in this city, in this area, being the river/lake, depending on where you are. And it's not always accessible by everyone.
Sure.
So I think this would be great to really accentuate that, be somewhere to draw. Of course, it'd be great if you could redesign everything and downtown's right off the water, but that's not the case. So you draw people to this. And it'll just be interesting to see how it all incorporates because, of course, now we're going to have the new bridge 321 that's going to be a major project.
Gigantic.
And really taking autos much higher over the water than they are now. There's a lot of retail in that area right now that's underutilized in many areas, to say the least. And so I think this is one that people are excited about, but it might be one I can see being some frustrations of, man, this is one people want to see and have fast, and it's not going to move that fast, but I'm telling you, once it's done, again, this is going to be one of the things that you want government to do, which is to put their investment in something that's then going to draw private investment and engagement, and I think this is really, really going to help that visually seal this whole deal that's been done.
And let's clarify, too, the bridge project you're talking about on 321 is a DOT project.
That's NC State, North Carolina State.
Yeah, completely separate. Has to be done. It's actually slated to be done starting it fairly soon now.
They've moved it up because of its rank along the state. Right.
Yes, so there's a timeline once roads are done that there will be an allotted time that they're already planned to be redone. Yes. And this one's time is up. So this actually, this bridge
we encourage infrastructure improvements and
absolutely. This bridge is going to be a flyover now. So it's actually going to be, like you said, for the autos super high, but the train's going to have to be able to get underneath it. We, in my opinion, I'm very, very biased. I love the train that comes through Hickory. I don't care what's on it and what they're doing with it. They could have all kinds of stuff in those boxes. I don't know. But I love the sound of the train. I love that we have that train coming through. I think every once in a while they do throw in a little passenger train here and there, and a big crowd comes out to watch it, and it's super fun. But this all just is the bond projects are accelerating all of these things we already have and accentuating them and making them bigger, brighter, which, like you said, we have the lake, we have the river. Now we're going to have something on it.
Yes. And not knowing what's going to follow that. I mean, it talks about in a lot of the paperwork, and I encourage anybody to go to the city's website to get a better view of some of the details and designs and plans that they have renderings of right now. But you never know what is going to follow this initial investment. So there could be things like that we hear in regular conversation, I wish there was an indoor trampoline park for kids. You never know what that old Lowe's grocery store now, once they get everything close to it, everything could dovetail. Okay, the road's going to be done. We're going to be to the point where this Riverwalk's going to, and then all of a sudden you're going to look up and that entire area of Hickory is not only going to be new and refreshed, but it's going to be awesome and has the potential to be just a magnet to attract folks.
Is there a way to guarantee no more sinkholes in front of that Lowe's? Just saying.
I'll take any guarantee we can get.
Planning for that. Okay, the second major project that is going to be funded by the bond is the 1764 Manufacturing Park. There is 170 acres off of Startown Road that is allocated for this park. The city and county are splitting the cost of development, easements, et cetera, $500,000 apiece, with help from matching North Carolina grants. The caveat of this 1764 Manufacturing Park is that the land or the remaining parcels have to be sold by 2021, or the city and county split the $3.8 million cost of the land. So where are we with 1764? Has there been any business that have kind of signed the dotted line to go into 1764, or is it still just cow pasture?
I'll speak a little bit to this. This one's a little near and dear to my heart. I was actually with the Economic Development Corporation when we were proposing this park as a part of the project. Name dropping myself. I don't know if that counts because that's a very low on the totem pole name drop. Shout out Scott Millar and team.
Thank you, Scott.
Take it easy.
But as of right now, as far as I know, there is nobody that signed on the dotted line. The best part about this is that there is marketing for it. The plans are in place. And when you have got private industry knowing that city and county are on board with development, that the land is parceled together, so you've got basically options for single ownership, so it's already in place. And one thing that I've always told people is 3,144 counties or county-like entities in the United States. And so they've all are putting parks and parcels together to attract businesses. The other thing they're trying to do is take our businesses. So what can we do to elevate our community, and especially Hickory? I mean, Catawba County, we've got a ton of manufacturing. It's just throughout the county and some of our more urbanized areas with industrial are just buildings that right now are not up to the snuff that's needed for a lot of manufacturers. So even at a recent EDC meeting, they were talking about 2 years ago, they had 33 buildings, 30 buildings, somewhere in that neighborhood of 40,000 square feet or more, and now they're down to 13. So, I mean, you might drive by a building and it might not look like it's occupied, but there are things going on at a minimum, even warehousing. So having a facility like this, it's not going, people that think manufacturing, they think big smokestacks, trucks everywhere, some sort of, this is going to be designed to be a Class A, which, a high standard, high cost, very nice business park, hopefully some research and development, very maybe light manufacturing and things like that. So this is very exciting. It's in a great area. And they do have plans, like you talked about, with the money that's going to be put forth with kind of those easements and the berms. You will drive by that. They're going to keep the old dairy silos. It's going to have that kind of feel and entryway. You'll have berms, so you won't just see manufacturing from the road. And that was one of the big concerns. So I think it's been designed and planned well. Like you said, what's going to be done before 2021, I don't know. At the same time, for a city and county to buy it for $3 million and change, yeah, it's easy to spend someone else's money, but that is, again, it's a good investment for the future. And I know we have companies that are chomping at the bit to start putting up spec buildings for companies.
Totally agree with you, McNally. There's, and if you look at the numbers, 170 acres for $3.8 million, that's a bargain, I think. Not to mention that where the 1764 manufacturing park is slated to go, it's 5 minutes from I-40, 5 minutes from 321, 4.5 hours by car from ports, Wilmington, Charleston, et cetera, et cetera. There's so many things that are positives for companies that would decide to come. I think it would be a good investment for any company that would decide to come.
And workforce, they're right there at
workforce,
CVCC, and that's the number one issue that any company you talk to is going to bring up first is what is the workforce current, what's the workforce future, and
Sure.
and this bond package in many ways looks at what's the workforce future, as in who are we going to bring in and create. Obviously, our school helps to build up who's already here, but this park, like you said, that's us selling Hickory and all the great things and opportunities that we have here, but having an established park like this and catching some of those tailwinds from selling that spec building, which is the first spec building in Claremont, and they're already starting to see, now people are, once you start seeing success, you follow success. So I'm excited to see where this goes with a lot of private investment.
Right, man. Nothing attracts a crowd like a crowd, The hashtag Soul Asylum. So,
Trademark patented.
trademark and patented. So the third project that the bond referendum includes is the City Walk. And a few notes from that is that City Walk is developing and redeveloping the areas of Main Avenue from Lorraine to downtown, connects Lorraine and businesses such as Transportation Insight, the businesses at Holler Mill, Moretz Mill. The City Walk is really designed, in my opinion, is targeting young adults and businesses that attract young adults. Just another caveat, or what's the word I'm looking for?
No idea.
No idea. Okay, it's just another way for cities to attract young people and retain young people. The contracts for the design have been approved. AMEC won the design bid, and the design is supposed to be completed now, and construction is slated to begin in 2018. The city has actually been awarded 2 federal grants for the City Walk that totals $11 million, and that's free money, guys. Can't really beat that. The city must contribute $2 million to match that, and will come from the $40 million referendum. So this one also kind of hits home to me, is because there's spots in our town that are to be desired. Downtown, the Valley Hills Mall area, exactly. But the streets and passageways connecting the two might not necessarily be pleasing to eye. And that's what the City Walk is going to do. It's going to revitalize those areas in between to make it all spick and span and shiny. And that's what people are looking for. They want to see that this is something that, the areas in between the high traffic areas need to be cleaned up, in my personal opinion. There's a lot to be desired in those areas, and hopefully that they'll, with this referendum, will put some money into these areas. It'll not only make it pleasing to the eye, it'll be more, businesses will be more inclined to start coming to those areas. Don't you agree, Mary Margaret?
I do. This one's kind of the one I'm super excited about, mainly because as a Lenore Ryan alumni, go Bears, I think that is something that's been lacking, is this connection between Lenore Ryan and downtown. They are too damn close to not be benefiting each other. And I think that right now it doesn't feel safe to walk from Lenore Ryan to downtown.
You're right.
Or ride your bike. The traffic is very busy right there, which is a good thing, but there's no good crossing areas, no traffic crossings, no pedestrian areas. There are some sidewalks there, but not along the entire way. So I can honestly say in the entire 4.5 that I was at Lenore Ryan, I never walked from Lenore Ryan to downtown.
Nor should you have.
And
you can get stabbed in between there.
But I should be able to.
Absolutely.
Right. Because it's so close.
Right, sure. And the City Walk, a part of that is lighting pedestrian walkways and providing safety measures to allow those kids to be able to walk and access downtown.
And I know that there's a lot more benefits to this, not just Lenore Ryan, but like I said, that's something very near and dear to my heart. And a lot of people around here, Lenore Ryan keeps a lot of alumni in the area that support the university. And being someone who's still involved with the university a good bit over there, I know that those kids do not utilize Holler Mill and Moretz Mills the way that they should. These are facilities that are so close and have some really neat things in them, and the kids should be able just to walk over there, and that's not being done. So this will provide that and really utilize that Mill District, which is a new district in the Downtown Development Group that has been formed, which I'm very glad to hear as well. And then this is, for everyone picturing, is along the lines of where Transportation Insight has put their building. And one of the main reasons that they brought their building, from what I understand, they really wanted to be a part of this bond and all the changes, the good changes that are coming to Hickory. And, another thing is, selfishly, they wanted their employees to be able to ride bikes and access downtown for lunch and benefit businesses down there. And I think that's fabulous. I wholeheartedly encourage that, and I'm grateful that they chose to stay here and redo that old mill that was there as well. So I'm personally very excited about the City Walk, and I think it's going to really enhance the downtown, all of Hickory connection with Lenore Ryan, which we really need to embrace more.
Absolutely. The LR kids really don't know how good they have it. When Mary Margaret and I were at Lenore Ryan, we would commit small crimes and misdemeanors to be able to have what they have now with Holler Mill and Moretz Mill being so close, being so accessible, less than a 5-minute walk from basically any dorm at LR. So, LR kids, if you're listening to that, go support those businesses because they're there for you. The fourth major project is the streetscapes and gateways. This includes creating gateways that welcome the people, visitors, citizens to Hickory. The two gateways that are slated to be built are on the corner of 321 and 70 and 321 and Clement Boulevard. Designing should be completed and construction should be scheduled to start right now, actually.
Wait, pause.
Sure.
321 and 70, and then 321 and Clement Boulevard, which is the one that accesses the Crawdad Stadium.
Yes.
Yes. Yep. Right?
Which will be interesting with the new bridge because it's going to end right
Correct.
there.
I'm just making sure that I'm picturing the right places and that everybody caught that. Okay, good.
Right. And these are art projects, welcome signs, et cetera, et cetera.
I think these are things right now. These are things probably it's hard for most people to grasp.
Yeah, for sure.
What this is, what it's for. It's just, cities across this country would kill for frontage on an interstate.
Sure,
we have it. Is it fully
40,
utilized? The best part, between 125, exit 125 and 126, you've got, especially now with the parking deck pushing out further, Hickory Metro Convention Center, you've obviously got hotels and retail, you see that. But when you're coming in from 321 until you hit the lights going about to go hit across the river, gateways, where are you? What's going on? What do we stand for? It'll be interesting. There's already been talk. I know not everybody will be pleased with whatever's put there, and it's not about liking and loving.
You can't please everybody?
Okay, I can, but I'm just saying most people have a hard time with that. The part is it's not about making everybody happier. This is to be the best absolute representation of our town. It's about putting that insignia on this road so people know where they're going. So it's difficult to envision, and I think it'll be one of those that there will be a lot of talk afterwards, like, what is that? What? But you know what? It'll be really interesting to see just the light, the notoriety, the different visual aspect when people are coming by our town that normally wouldn't think about our town.
Yep. And that 32170 intersection there
is humongous.
It's real big, and there's lots of opportunity, I feel like, there.
That's old Hickory retail. Think of all the stuff that's moved from there. That's where the movie theater was there. It's just,
I'm telling you,
Joe Bell's.
I'm the only.
Mom used to drag me to Joe Bell's to get crafts when I was a kid.
I probably didn't drag you. You know that.
Oh, yeah. I
love Joe Bell's?
Yeah, I love dowel rods and whatnot.
See? Well, okay. Well, let me just throw it back because I am the only one at the table that grew up here. But, Moose, you didn't live too far away. But
no, we drove 40 minutes to Joe Bell's. God.
Big time.
But on 70 there, Michael, as like you said, there was a Crown movie theater, which was the spot.
The spot.
Yep. And then not far behind that, behind the old Catawba Mall, was the other movie theater, the Terrace, I believe it was called. And boy, that was a little shady, but your parents still dropped you off and let you go to the movies, and there's a payphone outside. You call them when the movie's done. Now there's a Big Lots there and the big El Paso Mexican restaurant, right? There used to be a cafeteria there, but you know what's holding strong? And I'd like just to point this out to everybody. You know what's holding strong on 70 there? Roses.
Roses is one of
is
probably
still
the 10 Roses that are open, probably.
Absolutely. And if you're looking for rugs, you need to go to Roses. I'm just throwing that out there. But Roses holding strong on 70. There's that putt-putt spot. That
Dolphin
is,
Games.
yes, that is still open after, I believe they've been open 46 years is what we heard the other day, because my family goes there once a week. But there's always people out there. But you know what I'm looking at? The Bad Person Hotel.
Oh, yeah, that's a little rough.
When I'm there at the putt-putt place, I'm looking at the Bad Hotel. And I say Bad Hotel because, yes, I'm stereotyping, but it is known, and I have witnessed that not good things happen.
Well, you can just look at the Hickory Police blotter and realize.
And they'll admit to that, and I know the city has looked at that, and it's difficult. The one thing to do, we should look at and highlight is there were more of them that have been removed,
Absolutely.
And now you've got the Walmart. So it is being noticed and trended in the right direction.
Yes.
And I think when there's more, again, a lot of this is just it's hope.
Right.
It's seeing what happened in other communities, maybe with gateways, streetscapes, whatever that might be.
Right.
When you see, and there's a broken glass theory. If you see, there's a neighborhood with broken glass in it, that's just then people think that's acceptable.
Right.
Well, the more we have this thing, the more investment, the more people will go there.
Right.
I think again, my hope is that more formation will happen.
And I'd like go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm just saying that's exactly what I was kind of saying, is that these places that are there that right now are considered kind of shady.
A blight.
There are those opportunities, if we have things like streetscapes and gateways being added, that these places that are unsightly will either be cleaned up and made appropriate or gone.
Right.
It's just part of the
Which is not a
cycle
bad
of
thing
life.
either.
Exactly.
Right.
Sometimes that does save people on what they have been not wanting to do for a long time, but when they have the opportunity to do it
Right.
Now's the time.
And some gentrification isn't bad, you know. And,
Absolutely.
And the spots that we're talking about does have the potential to be great spots in town. And you would hope that once these things start really getting rolling, maybe the folks that own these places will start taking a little bit more pride in the services they're providing.
You can even see that on the way up 70, just a tiny bit more across from the Old Catawba Mall. There's a strip mall there. It's got the old Village Inn Pizza that burned down several years ago.
There's been some investment put back in
But there has been some cleanup there. Exactly. That's where Sky City used to be when I was growing up. I remember going to Sky City. That was a good spot too. And that is, you know, unfortunately, if you're local and you see that spot, you're like, wow, they've really cleaned that up. But if you're not a local and you come back, it doesn't look anything because there's no business in there. I think there's like a little gambling spot in there or something, like a little scratch card place or something, you know. And it's unfortunate because it is really good real estate right there. So hopefully this stuff will grow those based off of the streetscapes and gateways to really just introduce these areas again, and let people know this is where people are hopping off the interstate and or not interstate, but the roads and
it's just inspiring.
highways.
I mean, that's part of it too. You know, looking at the renderings of the stuff when they talk about the streetscapes and whatnot. It's some of those places where you go to different towns and they might not be clustered together, and you drive by, man, that's cool.
Yeah.
You know, one of them, it showed a picture of different colored lights underneath the rail bridge on Union Square, you know, as an option or something that could happen. And I'll tell you, I mean, those sort of things as a collective, they speak to everybody as just, oh, wow, that's something
It's flair.
cool, neat.
It's flair.
It's flair.
It's like buttons on
whether
your
you
badge
live here or
at
whether
TGI
you're
Fridays.
passing through, it's still just, you know, everybody after a while turns kind of a blind eye to whether it's blight or something great. But having things like that around, it's just like people coming to visit and they're like, oh man, that's really cool. And you just remind, oh, man, that is. So I think there'll be a lot of that sort of stuff. And the gateway might not be, you know, always within that. But I think you'll see some of that cool, gosh, I sound like an old dad.
So cool,
coolness,
man.
right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
hip, right, kids? Moving out towards those areas of town.
Yeah.
Right.
Building off of what's planned.
That's good. That's exciting stuff.
Yeah, it's
you
really
know?
exciting stuff.
Really.
And you can find out all about the bond referendum and the design plans, the meetings, the minutes. They even have videos of the bond commission meetings at Hickory, North Carolina. I'm sorry, HickoryNC.gov. That's where I've pulled all my facts from. You can go and fact check me. So please just go inform yourself and get involved, because if you're not, it's your own fault. So we're going to move on. Hey. So we're going to move on.
It's your own fault.
Not placing blame or anything, but I'm just saying.
It's the first episode. Let's
I
not
know.
get harsh. All right. Well, thank you for that. I think this is a great time to say that if you have a topic that you'd like us to discuss or refresh everybody, or maybe bring a guest in to talk about it if we don't know. I mean, honestly, like we're going to know, but we'll bring somebody in. If you have something you want us to talk about, let us know. We'll have an email and some phone number and information at the end of the show. Just don't be afraid to drop us a line and let us know what you want to hear about. Speaking of what you want to hear about, we've got a little attention to bring to some cool events going on around the Hickory area. Most of us locals, I think, know the high-level stuff, or graze the top of the surface of things that are going on around town, but I dug a little deeper and found just a couple of things that I thought were pretty cool in the area and or coming to the area that maybe you should start planning for, and again really enhances the uniqueness that Hickory has to offer. So first one being, not everybody knows, I don't know that. I don't know if everybody knows this or not, but we have an amazing science center, the Catawba Science Center. We're very lucky to have that here in this area. Not every community has one. Very affordable, lots of school trips and stuff as well. But they have an exhibit right now going on called Gross Labs. Okay. At first you're just like, I mean, it says gross in the title, but let me tell you what this is all about. It's actually for kids or moose to go, and you can pretend.
I don't know. You sound pretty excited about it.
I am.
Okay, there you go.
So it is where they actually are playing the role of a scientist that's in a gross job. Okay, so they have like actual things set up. You can put your hands in, or you can mimic this job. And some of the jobs are a poop analyzer.
Hey.
Or
Sounds absolutely like something my 7-year-olds would. They love saying poop, even if they can just get away with saying it.
Right. It's got a whole emoji dedicated to it. Snot surveyor.
Hey.
So poop and snot, I mean, what kids aren't going to enjoy that? But Gross Labs is going on now, and it's going to be there for a little while, so I really encourage everybody to go and check out not only the Science Center, but go and maybe take your kids to see about Gross Labs. But something like that really encourages, obviously, medical field. There's a lot of sponsorship going on by some local medical offices here, and looks like a really cool
They do
exhibit.
a great job with those traveling kind of exhibits like this one, and they're
Great.
usually here for about 3 months
Absolutely.
at a time,
Mm-hmm.
and it's very cool because the Science Center, I mean, my kids could go to the aquarium every week, no problem, see the same, fish, touch them.
Go play the stingrays every time.
But when you have this traveling exhibit and it keeps everything new and
Yes.
fresh, it's very cool, very well done over there.
They do a great job, and we're, again, very, very lucky to have them. Right next door to them, Hickory Museum of Art. Again, something else that we are very lucky to have in this area because it has brought some really big-time people and stuff to the area. However, right now, there's something that's maybe a little more near and dear to our hearts in the museum. I really encourage everyone to go check out the exhibit that's called Beer Type Logos. Okay, done by a friend of ours, Matt Everly. He has a show that's up there right now, and he is a designer that does beer logos and has done work for several breweries around the area, and has up some neat stuff. And I mean, it's who doesn't at some point purchase a bottle of wine or a bottle of beer because of the logo and the label on it?
I, for one, have.
Exactly. If you lie and say that you haven't done it, I don't know who you are anymore.
Definitely, at a minimum, it makes you pause and look, especially now with all the craft breweries.
Absolutely.
And I don't know enough about wine, but you walk by and look at like wine labels. I mean, there's so many. What do you?
Right.
So I get it.
And so if you're more drawn to something on a label, then absolutely.
It at least makes you look cooler and smarter. Like, yeah, I know what I'm doing with this. And it's just
Yes.
the package looks cool.
Yes. And so the museum, again, one of those things that does a great job with these exhibits that come in and out, but they do have their standard exhibits, and one of them being the upstairs, there's a folk museum area, and it's super cool. They actually pipe in the scents of banana pudding. I don't know if you knew that or not,
Sold.
but yeah.
Sold.
So you can walk through and it feels like you're out, with Catawba County heritage and folk art and stuff that's been coming in. It was a really cool
Taste the
exhibit.
meringue and vanilla wafers right now.
So that's at the Hickory Museum of Art. That exhibit is actually going on. The beer type logos one is going on through September 17th, so you have plenty of time to get there. Also, something that the museum is putting on is the Folk Art Festival, which, again, very unique to this area. Really has we have a lot of folk artists in this area that are pretty well known. So to have this festival is something pretty nice. It actually takes place in Newton, in downtown, but the Museum of Art in Hickory is one of the main sponsors. That's coming up on Saturday, October 7th.
Shameless plug, Moose and Friends is playing that event.
Hey!
Hey.
What?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's
we're headlining.
exciting.
We're headlining
I know that
Folk
guy.
Art Festival. Yeah, sure.
Wow. All right, Moose and Friends. Okay. Well, one more thing through the Museum of Art is outside of the museum. There is a area that the museum, the Science Center, the library, the symphony, they all join this area called the Salt Block. Pop quiz. Who knows what SALT stands for?
Me.
I do.
Do it, Moose.
Oh man, gosh! Call me now. I'll do the first two. I think it's
Oh, that's
science,
weak.
Science and art.
Hey, literature together.
There you
Yes.
go. Very nice.
That's teamwork.
Hashtag
Makes the
Salt
dream
Block.
work.
Yes. So at the Salt Block, there is a lawn out there.
There's a
and lawn.
Okay.
What did you think I said?
It kind of sounded like lawn.
Lawn.
That's that accent.
The lawn. Yes, the accent's coming through. It's a Hickory show. All right. So the Auto Lawn is the name of this event coming up. It's a European classic art show. This year they are focusing on the BMW line. Not going to be the only cars there, but they will highlight and focus on that. They have some amazing entries every year. It's really cool afternoon. And it's free.
Hey.
So, hey, walk out there, walk around, take your family. It's really cool to see these cars. And I mean, like I said, these are real deal fancy European flashy cars that you don't just see riding on the road. They like bring them out of a garage one day a year for the auto lawn. So,
Should I bring my
Are they going to be
Prius?
doing donuts out there? Or like,
no, pretty sure that's not happening.
unfortunate.
But it is a beautiful show, and hopefully you could get out there and check it out because it's really cool. So, speaking of Moose and Friends, I was going to bring your name up, but since
thanks.
you shamelessly put your name in there
I'm
already.
Not shameless.
American Honor Ale House, which is located in beautiful Holler Mill, is doing a series called Music in the Garden, and it's every Sunday.
It is every Sunday, 2 to 5.
Sunday, 2 to 5. And how do you know this, Moose?
Because Moose and Friends played Music in the Garden last Sunday. Had a great crowd. It was beautiful weather that we dialed up. Mr. Blom Sinclair had us out there. It was really good time. And this time of year, it's not too hot, and it's perfect time for a Sunday fun day.
Sunday Fun Day. The series is going through the end of September. There's a different music act playing every Sunday, as you said, 2 to 5 in the open air area outside of American Honor Ale House. So, great activity to go check that out. Something else that is very near and dear to our heart is the Foot Candle Film Festival is coming up. So, not sure if you have checked out Foot Candle here on the Mesh.tv. They do have a podcast where they do film reviews and do a pretty darn good job of it, if you ask me. But the annual film festival is coming up on September 22nd through the 24th. The films kick off on Friday at 11 a.m. and have an open ceremony Friday night, and then the movies go all the way through Sunday. So you get to have an option. They have the films listed already. The selections have been made of which films are coming in. I mean, these people bring in international films. The filmmakers come in, directors. Everybody's there. It's really a cool event. It's in the auditorium at the Salt Block. And big screen. You sit down. They have got popcorn. It's really nice. Anyway, they do have a closing ceremony on Sunday that you can purchase tickets for. But if you want to come, they have day passes that you can come and see the movies. And then they have a whole event package where you can come to every movie, any movie, come and go as you want. Or you can just go see a single movie if you want to. And those are only $5 a piece. So it's an amazing thing. It's super cool to have here. They've gotten some great reviews. They're listed amongst the film festivals across the country, and so that's why they get this recognition internationally as well. But very cool event. Hope everybody can come out there. Again, it's the Foot Candle Film Festival. All of these events I'm talking about, you can find on websites and so forth, so on.
Yeah, and Foot Candle, I mean, they're bringing in films that you're not going to go to the Carmike and see. These are the ones that you're going to have to wait for them to be on Netflix or something like that, or catch them streaming on the internet or something like that. This is, you get to see them in a movie setting, and the best part about it, most of the directors or producers are going to be there to answer your questions, and it's just a great event. It's awesome event for Hickory.
Absolutely. Very lucky to have that here. Lenore Ryan University has announced their 2017-18 Visiting Writer Series. That's, again, something very unique to the area that we're very lucky to have. Some amazing authors have come to Hickory in the past, and for the full schedule, you can go on the Lenore Ryan website. Those kick off in September, mid-September, and they actually go through April. We've got about 2 a month. And so much surrounds each author as they're here. They have luncheons or dinners or meet and greets, things like that. And of course, the big presentation that they have during for the actual event. But it's a great
credit.
Yes. For those students, please go and hear of many of them as you can, because you need those convo credits to graduate. Don't let them tell you any different. Big event happening in September. Not too many details out there yet, but in September, Lenore and Ryan will be inaugurating their 12th president in history. So pretty big deal. Dr. Fred Witt is the new president at LR, taking over for Dr. Wayne Powell, who has been there for ages. But Dr. Witt is new and exciting and fresh and happy to be here, and he will have his inauguration in early September.
Yeah, Dr. Wayne Powell did so much for LR. It's through the college to university process, he raised him personally, I know, raised a ton of money for the place, and you can really tell if you haven't been back to Illinois Ryan in 5 or 6 years and you drive through campus, it's a different place. And a lot of that is attributed to Dr. Powell. He did a wonderful job, and we hope that Dr. Witt comes and follows perfectly in his footsteps, because we're counting on him.
Absolutely. Something we already talk about and know, and I think most locals really enjoy it, but the Hickory Crawdads are in full swing right now, and we'll be going through early September or so
Usually
you
the
still
first
have a
weekend
little
of
bit.
September.
Yeah, you've still got a little bit of time to get out there and enjoy them. Such a great time and such an affordable family fun event. Concerts after a lot of the performances, fireworks on Friday nights. They put on a good show out there, and it's such an important part to have in Hickory, and we're very lucky. So definitely go support the dads whenever you can. The final thing I was going to bring up that I was very excited about to find whenever I was researching, and I have to say I didn't know this much detail about it, but we have a resource here in Hickory that offers courses and classes at CVCC in the Small Business Center, and they have seminars, and they have just this enormous list of them on the internet of classes that are being offered to people of all types, of any type, that want to come in and learn things. And again, it's for small businesses, which, as we know, I mean, I'm part of a small business. I grew up part of a small business, family business, and they're really important to this type of culture we're trying to build in Hickory, I believe. They're the ones that are going to buy those parcels down on the Riverwalk. They're the ones that are going to be benefiting on the City Walk, all of that as well. So they have classes out there that I encourage everyone to go and check out. They have a class for startups. They have one on creating an image, therefore your marketing and branding. They've got the Art of the Ask, which is a sales class. They have Introduction to QuickBooks, how to start a business, and the list goes on and on. So, if you're wanting to know a little bit more about a business, a little bit more about starting your own, CVCC has some amazing resources, and really encourage you to go check those out on their website. So, now, obviously, I can't talk about everything that's happening in Hickory, because we really, really do have
We got to go on.
That's an exhaustive list
of stuff
right there.
So that is, and this list that I just kind of went through are things that go through September. And there is something to do all the time. So your City of Hickory website, your Convention and Visitors Bureau website, they all have links to tons of different things that you can find, resources for families, businesses, individuals, if you want to get day trips, things like that. So go and check those out and enjoy what Hickory has to offer.
Speaking of what Hickory has to
What a
offer.
segue. Holy
What does
cow.
Hickory have to offer?
she's a pro.
Cow.
Goodness gracious.
Well, one of the things that we wanted to do with the show is take an opportunity to highlight what the locals need to know about this wonderful town that they call home. And we talked about going and visiting restaurants, going and visiting retail, service places, and really putting the spotlight on things that sometimes might get overlooked, sometimes people aren't aware of, and kind of give our own little flair and flavor as to what we've got here in Hickory that people need to take advantage of. I know myself, I get into ruts and go to the same
Absolutely.
restaurants, and sadly, I go to those same restaurants and order the same thing. So what can we do to help encourage people to get out of their box and go and check out some of these other wonderful establishments and places? And to kick this segment of the show off,
Don't know what we're going to call it yet, this segment, but I mean...
yeah, it won't be
could
called this segment of the show.
It
That's
won't be
pretty
called
lame.
This is it, but
We'll
get there.
This
We'll get
Hickory
there.
highlight for today is the three of us went to a restaurant that I would drive by on my way to work and look at it and think, I wonder if that place is still open. I wonder what that place has got going on. And they've got it going on. It's Sonny's. Sonny's. Mary Margaret was an expert at Sonny's beforehand. Her parents were experts.
Do love Sonny's.
So she, right when I said, I don't even know anything about this place, she was pretty flabbergasted that I didn't know about this place.
I was embarrassed for you. I was embarrassed that you didn't know Sonny's.
You're not the first person to be embarrassed for me. Thank you very much for continuing that.
I'll be straight up. I've eaten there once, and I didn't realize what it was until I had to look it up on the internet. I was like, I've been there, and I still didn't know what it was.
Well,
So you got that.
just
So
to
does that
give you a
speak
little
to you or to
background.
Sonny's? I don't know.
Yeah.
Let me give you a little background that Sonny's, like I said, you said my parents enjoy it, and they do. My mom has a tendency sometimes for Lent every year to give up red meat and chocolate and those things, you know, it just gives her a nice little cleansing for a while celebrating Lent. And for that, she does have to prep for that by going to Sonny's to have a hamburger beforehand.
Almost like a last meal.
And then going to Sonny's afterwards when it's over to maybe get the double instead of the single. I don't know. But
or maybe she gets the Super Sunny.
Let's hear a little bit about that. Let's hear a little bit about our trip to Sonny's.
So we went there for lunch, and you know, it's a pretty varied menu. It is what Moose called it. It's a greasy spoon. It is a greasy anybody spoon. Local or outside would kind of get a feel for then what we're talking about when we go into the place.
Rustic.
It has that vibe to it. Menus everywhere, both with the punch in, both written and dry erase, but then they didn't have something, so they walk over and erase. It has that kind of local feel to it.
Yes, absolutely.
So they've got burgers, hot dogs, chicken, fried or BLTs, and
nothing
ham.
fried. Nothing fried though.
HLTs. Yes, today, unfortunately, their deep fryer was broken.
Wah, wah.
I mean, not really sure how well they were operating. Maybe that's the reason we were the only people there. I'm not sure.
I don't know, but
that was one of the first things they told us.
They sent out the deep fryers out back signal to everybody and they didn't show
Maybe,
up?
I don't know. The French fries are pretty good there. So I think if we're in the onion rings, we didn't get to experience that. But
we didn't experience that, but we got a good sampling of flavor.
Sure.
Because I know it was a decent sampling when I'm sitting there and I asked for recommendations and they gave some. Mm-hmm. So then I start ordering, and I knew I was
your crazy number one for recommendations.
I knew I was in a little bit of trouble, but I'm not petite. I'm not wearing skinny jeans. I wear regular jeans, and on me they become skinny jeans. But anyways, I digress. So they have 3 burgers. They have regular, the double, and the Super Sunny. So I said, I'm here to play ball. I'm going Super Sunny. I got it Carolina style, except no onions, because nobody wants to hang out with me after I eat onions.
Because we had to do a podcast today.
So nobody wants any of that.
What's Carolina style? Remind everybody if you don't know.
It's wonderful. It's chili, coleslaw, mustard. And then typically onions, but like I say, sans onions today. So I got one of those. Then I said, and she said, the barbecue's pretty good. And I said, well, I'll try some of that too. And she did try to give me a warning that, you're not going to eat dinner today. And I want to say, honey, you have no idea who you're talking to.
I'll take the Pepsi challenge on that.
So, and to top it off, I got some potato salad. Now,
yes, because we do get a side with everything.
Side.
She had to kind of, there was a little
as long
list
as it wasn't deep fried.
That's right. No deep fried sides today, but...
That's probably good for us anyway today, because we were already eating like Neanderthals.
Because we wanted to try everything. But the sides they offered, there were things like green beans, mashed potatoes, potato salad, pasta salad,
chips.
Potato chips.
Pea salad,
but they were out of that today, so she wiped it off.
Mary Margaret's favorite.
Beets. Yes, so they had a big old bowl of beets. I don't eat
about
beets.
Headphones, kids.
No, I don't eat beets, so I didn't order that. But she did give us the big eyeballs whenever Michael said he wanted the...
She thought I was ordering for a whole group.
The Super Sunny and the barbecue sandwich.
Yep.
And some potato salad. So I ordered a single hamburger and a single hot dog and a side of pasta salad. So that's what I got. Moose, what did you get?
I had the Blue Plate Special. Had smothered chicken. That was a flat chicken breast that you would typically get like at a Mexican restaurant or something like that. Smothered in Swiss cheese and onions and green peppers. On the side, I had mashed potatoes, no gravy, and green beans. Let me tell you, they were great. It was really good. The onions and peppers were definitely worth the trip for sure.
So off of Moose's plate, we gathered, like you said, the onions and peppers were worth it.
Right.
Chicken he said was good,
Yeah.
and so
I easily give it 4.5 out of 7 spoons, greasy spoons.
7?
4 out of 7.
That's the scale you're going with.
Yeah.
Who does
I don't need your
7?
empirical scale.
Not this guy.
I don't need your empirical scale. 4 out of 7. 4 out of 7 greasy spoons.
Oh my gosh, it's like you're like the metric measurements over here.
4 out of 7.
While I'm speaking in inches.
Fine. Well, okay. So I'll go into mine. The pasta salad came as a recommendation from the waitress. It was your kind of typical the screw-looking noodles with some chopped broccoli, fresh broccoli, and tomatoes in there, and carrots, and then it had the Italian dressing flavor on it. But we do believe there was maybe a little sugar thrown in there. Yeah, so it made it a little different, which was nice. Everybody tried it. It was good stuff. And the hot dog was...
First of all, she said, "What do you want on it?"
Oh, yeah.
And you said plain.
I said I want it plain because whenever all my other toppings squirt out the side of the hamburger, I'm just going to scoop those on top of my
Once that hot dog came out and we looked at it, we knew exactly why she thought you might want something on it.
Yeah. It didn't look like a normal hot dog. And you know, I mean, I love a hot dog. I love a good hot dog. And I'm not really sure what happened to this one.
It looked like it was fried, but the fryer was broken.
They had already told us the fryer was broken, and this one was like it was kind of wrinkly.
It looked a little bit like Freddy Krueger.
It was a little wrinkly. It was just, I mean, it did start up some jokes at the table, but
Phallic.
I am a trooper and a strong, independent woman, and I ate that hot dog. I didn't care what it looked like.
And it was great, I
put
bet.
a little bit of ketchup on it, and you know what? It was just,
Actually, I didn't hear.
it was a straight up hot dog. You know,
It was good.
And I tell you what, that hot dog's $1.50.
I was about to say that was one thing you pointed out the
Yeah.
value
Can't
of
beat
that
that.
hot dog.
Can't
Hot
beat
dog's
it off the hot dog.
$1.50, and you know what? If you
Crush a
are just
couple of them.
wanting some hot dogs that day and get like a side of fries or something like that,
Throw
then
some chili on it.
by all means, go to Sonny's and get you a hot dog because it's kind of as standard as they come. Just maybe don't look at it first. I don't know.
Or cover it. With stuff.
Just tell them you want some stuff on it. Like their chili was good.
Yeah.
We both had chili
Basic
on our
meat
burgers.
chili.
Meat chili, no beans, good stuff.
I'll go ahead and say barbecue. I don't know. I might have to visit. It came on a bun. Usually I like my barbecue just by itself. You know, I'm an Eastern North Carolina boy originally, so, you know, give me my vinegar and hot sauce on my barbecue. But the barbecue is okay. Now, I will say this. I wish I would have ordered 2 Super Sunny hamburgers.
I'm right. Their burgers are
They were
on
legit.
point.
And this Super Sunny, I had to get a different bun than your regular one, and your regular hamburger didn't even fill up your bun, so I got a special sesame seed bun.
Yeah, my single hamburger, that was the downside of my hamburger. My
It's a
single
demerit.
had a smaller hamburger than the bun, which meant I had excess bread afterwards, which I'm, not a fan
What you
of.
gonna do with
but
that?
I scooped the chili
Put it
off
on
of
a
it.
hot dog.
But
That's what you gonna do.
I could have, but
That wasn't what you were thinking when
Nope,
you were talking about that.
nope. I put the I had chili, lettuce, and mayonnaise on my hamburger, and so I ended up for the last maybe 4 bites or so actually just eating the burger and not eating the bread because there was so much bread. But that burger was good.
It was. I'll
So
tell you what,
good.
My Super Sunny was awesome. And I'll say this, too. Usually when you get a Carolina burger can tend to lend itself to be messy. Like,
Yeah.
You got slaw and chili on, a hamburger.
Uh-huh.
This one, the burger filled up the entire bun, and it was not messy at all. So that got some extra points, especially at lunchtime when you're trying to look like a decent human being when you go back to work. You don't look like you wear half of your meal.
She did tell us that these patties are
Hand-
hand
And they
patty?
looked like
Is that
it.
the word? Is hand
patty
pat-
patties.
Hand pat?
Hand patted, hand pressed. Yeah.
Handmade every day, fresh every day. So, and they looked
with
like
love.
It was Sunny love.
You can see it. You can see it.
Yes. So I tend to agree. Those burgers were.
No, they were good. And the Super
They were
Sunny
the
I
hit.
know was thick enough. I can't speak for where it was. They don't ask you how you want it cooked. It's a greasy spoon.
They don't care.
But that one left a little bit enough where it still had a little bit of color in it. It was. I would highly recommend it. I could have gone with 2. That's how much I liked it.
Yeah. Now those Super Sunnies were what, about $5?
They were $5.50. So
Yeah.
you can knock out 2 of them in water which would be my next time I go. That's what I'd get for
Yeah.
$11 and a tip. Call
Yeah.
it a day. You can go to any place and spend more than that and not have nearly as good of a hamburger.
McDonald's.
The potato salad was almost like a whipped potato salad. It was not chunks of potatoes. Pickles, peppers, and some tomato in there. It was unique,
Fair.
fair. I think overall, you take everything into account, ambience and whatnot. On a normal person scale of 1 to 10,
dare you.
Like real people do.
normal people.
Right.
How dare you.
Right.
I would probably stick somewhere in that 6.5 range.
As would I. I
How
think
about a
that I love I love a greasy spoon. I
Oh, if you
love
find
a
one
dive.
that hits the point, it's
Yeah,
on.
I love a dive. I love a dive bar. I love a dive restaurant. Bring it on. This place, I will say, it was clean.
Great
The
wait
food
staff.
the food was fast. Came out quickly.
Yes.
Friendly wait staff.
Yeah, it was what you'd expect and hope for from a
Absolutely.
place like this. Very friendly.
When you walk in, there are some seats to sit at a counter that faces the grill itself, and I'm
like
always
that?
I always like seeing the grill because then there's
not
nothing
hiding
behind
anything.
closed
'Cause you
doors.
don't, you
That's
don't
right.
trust anything.
That's right. So I do like that, and very sweet ladies sitting up there taking your money at the end.
You said that because she talked about how great you were.
She did.
Yep.
She did. She said I had sparkling personality, and I just wanted to keep going back. So I will to go hang out with her.
I mean, overall, today was a winner. It was
like
the first one, but
his-
it was. I'm going back. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I think Sonny's is a fabulous lunch spot. Note to self: only open for breakfast and lunch. I believe they close around 2 or 3. So if you want to
And
get a
cash,
good
was it cash only?
Cash only.
They also have a
Remember that?
drive-through. Also have a drive-through.
Yes. So if you want to call in your order, go pick up some hot dogs after work, take home. If you want to get something real quick, I'm guaranteed you can get your lunch in and out of there on your lunch hour from work. And, very affordable.
Oh yeah, I mean, unless you're me, you easily walk out of there with tip $10 or
Yes.
less, all in.
Yes.
Unless you're hanging out with me,
Unless you're eating like McNally.
right? But I'm gonna own it.
Yeah,
But you know what? That should be a goal in our life.
I'm just here trying
Let's
to take
just-
it all in. I'm just here for the people. I'm just trying to explain things that they haven't done yet, but I'd encourage them to check it out.
Tasting what Hickory has to offer.
One of Hickory's finer establishments. I am sure we will have plenty of. I'm always going to lobby for food. I am sure we'll do some other establishments in the greater Hickory area as well. But I look forward to contributing with this wonderful Hickory highlight segment moving forward.
Excellent. And again, if you have somewhere that you would like to recommend, or if you have a place that you'd like us to try that's your business, we're happy to come out there and
Especially if
spend
it's
some
unique
time.
to Hickory.
Absolutely. We're looking for some Hickory run, Hickory loved places, and we're happy to come spend some time with you out there. If you get a chance, we would recommend, like I said, go to Sonny's, which is on the corner of Highland and Springs.
Right
Is that
across
correct?
from the Sure Tape headquarters. Or
Absolutely.
not headquarters, plant off of Highland.
Yes, a little weird
You'd
looking,
miss it.
I think.
You'd miss it if you weren't looking.
But be prepared right there on the corner, and be prepared for not any marked parking spots. So just kind of fend for yourself
Make it
out
up as
there.
you go.
Yep, absolutely. Kind of just like the restaurant itself.
The parking doesn't matter. It's the food that matters.
There you go. Look at that. That should be on the back of their T-shirts or something.
Should be.
Sunny T-shirts.
Good food, bad parking.
Yeah, I highly recommend the Super Sunny.
Excellent. Great. Thanks so much for that. That's all I got. That's all we're talking about today.
This is great.
And that was a lot.
It was
I
a
think
lot.
we talked about a lot of Hickory stuff. I think it's only going to get better. We have so much to offer here in Hickory and want everyone to tune in and get some ideas, submit your ideas, and let's help Hickory grow and get some recognition throughout the country as it should.
It's the place to be.
The place. Look at us.
With 2 E's. Hey,
Again, talking about Hickory Standard. So, again, we are Street Circle Drive. If you haven't picked up on why we have that name, then
Come and visit and find out.
then you're probably not a local. So, Street Circle Drive here on the Mesh. We do hope you tune in next time. Again, we encourage you to go and check out everything else we have to offer on themesh.tv. That's the website you can go to. We do have a voicemail line, and so this line, you call in, you can leave a voicemail. You don't have to actually speak to anybody. If you want us to look into anything or leave a message of encouragement for us, we'll take it. That number is 828-619-0048. And you can email us at info@themesh.tv, and you can just direct that email to any one of your favorite shows, specifically to Street Circle Drive. The Mesh is also on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, so follow us along on there. We'll be posting up some pictures from especially our Hickory highlight trips. I think those are the best.
This will be fun.
Yeah.
We'll have fun with it.
Field trip photos, yes, be on the lookout for that. And guys, it's been a blast. Thanks for doing this and kicking off this new podcast we have for the Hickory area. And to everyone else out there, enjoy your day in Hickory, and we will catch you next time.
You've been listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Check us out online at themesh.tv. Discover other network shows and give us feedback on what you just heard.